Good morning. We have a very wet Wednesday morning. I'm looking somewhat damp and a bit frazzled, really. Still rocking the skulls, though. Anyway, I have been out and about. Didn't really need stock, but this particular place I go to is, I can't miss it. I feel of missing out. I mean, if I'm not there, I'm like, what have I missed? What have I missed? And today's quite a good score, so I thought I would share it with you all. Again, they wanted less than the £10 I offered them, but I figured £10 was more than fair for what I picked up. So I'm quite happy, very happy. I'm kind of wondering, at some point, are they going to object to me buying stuff? So I'm making the most of it. Hello, two people who are in. Good morning. Oh, gosh. Right. I literally have an enormous, I can't lift it, not with that arm, black sack full. So I'll share it with you while I'm up and about. It's been a bit of a mad week, busy times, but that's all good. Now, some of this smells a bit smoky. I'm not sure if it's the bag. It's the bag that makes things smell smoky. There's a particular brand of black sack which has a flavour very reminiscent of 10-year-old tobacco. It's not nice. So, well, welcome to the tour here. I'm sure people are busy and can watch on catch up, but I still have only got my head around doing lives. I am not up to scratch on making videos and then editing and uploading them. For some reason, it's completely skipped my abilities. I really should, though. I really should. Anyway, first things first. Hi, Karen. Nice to see you, Karen. Hope you're doing well. Is it cosy? It's very cosy in here. It's what I call a hot mess, actually. That's what's going on in here. I thought this was nice. How weird is this? Morning, Mumford Sons. Morning. I mean, we're in sort of raincoat season. We certainly are down in sunny, not sunny Kent this week. But I thought this was quite sort of hippy trippy. Hello, Laura. Good morning. This is kind of like a canvas style coat. It doesn't look very good not done up, does it? Yeah, this is Ted Baker. I was quite surprised because I looked at the label and thought that label's a bit ropey. In fact, it's sort of rubberized and it's come off. So I might have to do something with that. I might even take it out, to be honest, because I don't think it's very nice. It's telling me it's a size 2, which for Ted, I think is equivalent to a 10 UK, if I remember my Ted sizes correctly. I'll just do the buttons up so I can show you properly. I hope everyone's well. Spring has started, according to the weather people, although according to what's going on outside my door, I beg to differ. Although we do have daffodils. We have lovely daffodils, and my camellia bush, for those who know about that sort of thing, is about to flower. So I'm a happy bunny. This has a belt with it, which is, the downside of these things is so often they will lose their belts. But it's a nice little spring raincoat. It's in reasonably decent condition. My nails aren't, but the buckle is. That's what happens. Paint them all lovely at the weekend. By the time we get to Wednesday, I really should take care of that. But, I'd have to care enough to do that. I don't have time. Antoinette, good morning, good morning. So that's the first thing. Now, if I can't get a tenner back for that, I'm failing as a reseller. So that, in a way, was a good hit. I mean, don't get me wrong, it's very much like a jumble sale, and there's an awful lot. Random bag. There's an awful lot of rubbish in there and stuff that's been there forever. So it's quite a lot of digging, but it is all hung up or put over the back of a chair, which they tend to do with the coats because they're very bulky. So I do tend to check the coats first. I hardly believe my luck when I got this one. And do we know what it is yet? I think those in the know will know that is a Ted Baker. And it has an amazing lining. In fact, I would say the lining is better than the outside. Just my opinion, of course. Yes. I mean, this is a sort of don't go over it too closely, grab it. Because if I'm buying things for a very small amount of money per item, if there happens to be something wrong with it, I'm fairly good at repairs. And if it really is beyond repair, then okay, I just count it as a loss. That's fair enough. I can't stand there for hours going through things. It just isn't right. It doesn't feel right. I don't like to hang about there. I like to get in and out as fast as I can. They're always putting new stuff out as well. So in a way, it would pay me if I did stay. But I don't want to be greedy. I don't want to hang around too much. I don't pick up children's stuff. I leave that because I feel that there are people who need that, and they're less likely to be in need of a Ted Baker spring coat. This one doesn't have a belt with it, but it's all in good order. This I think is also probably a size 2. Let's have a look. Not going to tell me. These metal things that they put, brilliant, but I can't wear them because I'm allergic. So I'm one of those annoying people that will take out irritating labels, and now as a reseller I appreciate just how annoying that is. Let's find the size. In Ted we trust. We surely do. Dang it, can I find the size? I'm thinking this is probably a size 2 as well. 100% cotton. Yeah, I can't see the size on it. I'll measure it up against the other one. Pretty sure they probably come from the same donor, you see. How nice is that? For those who like their dark florals. Concealed buttons, no belt. Still a fit and flare style. Nice pockets is. Actually, they haven't even opened the pockets. That's weird. It's a little bit of a tidy up in places. A couple of threads, but they can be tidied. I will declare that a couple of threads are pulled. I reckon someone had a big bag that probably did that. But it's still a nice thing. You're doing a stock take, Lex. Hello, hello, hello. Wow. Does that take a long time? I'm trying to think, because you store your stuff by type and things, don't you? So I really should do the same. God, look at this hair. It's shocking, isn't it? Sorry. You got me on a bad hair day. It needs a wash, and it will get one later on before I go and do my which is in tonight. There's just not enough hours in a day. So there we go. 2 Ted Baker coats as a start. Rocking. These I picked up. Oh, okay. I don't know the brand. I don't know the brand of these. I only picked them up for the style. Mama B. I don't think they're maternity though. They're elasticated, but the reason I picked them up is because they're wide leg, crop style, corduroy, well, velour, I suppose, but done in a corduroy style trousers. Sort of thing that seems to be very much in at the moment. So I pick those up, even though the brand isn't something I know. They won't go for leather money, but they should go quite quickly. Not all of it, just the ones without SKU numbers. Oh, okay. Yeah. Oh, that should be doable. Yeah, my jewellery, as it stands, I haven't got a massive amount listed, but I've got a lot that will need to be listed. I haven't SKU numbered that at all, but I know I should. I know I should. That's probably a job. That's a job for some time to come up. And this was there last time and I left it, but it was still there this week. I kind of figured somebody might want it. It's a size 10. It's a modern Laura, actually, but it's one of these perfect for a wedding guest, sort of summer party, holiday, all that kind of thing. I think it's linen, actually. It has a linen feel, nicely lined. I'm not a massive fan of modern Laura, actually, but it does sell. People like it. More a fan of the vintage myself, but it's good bread and butter stuff. Linen mixed with viscose. Feels quite linen though. Has a nice feel, and it has this nice not sure quite what you call this. Sorry, those nails, they're worse on screen because I don't notice them. Screw it from the start, else it's a nightmare. You are absolutely bloody right. I do skew all my clothing, and that's not always a hit, but I do need to do it with the jewellery, and there's only a little bit that's actually listed currently. So yeah, I'll take your words of wisdom, Lex, most definitely. I put it off though. Now these I got because I thought my son might. No, we don't have the same thing. They're not Clarks. Normally I get in Clark's, but he turned around the other day and said, I think I need some new shoes, Mum. Okay. Basically, he absolutely wears them out because they're his only pair of school shoes. These look very similar. They're not too heavy. They have this cushion back, which he likes. He doesn't like ones with a really hard edge. I guess it's just the way his feet are made. So it's flexible shock something or other. These are Rockport. Now, Rockport, I think, is a pretty decent brand. But I'll get him to try them first. They're 11.5. So I think that'll probably fit him quite well. So we'll see. I'll let him try them first. I'm sure they're not worth a fortune. But they'll do him school shoes because they're huge. They got some wear to the soles, but that's not a problem for him. I just get fed up of always getting him Clarks because he's so hard on. Right, that was the one pair. The other pair of shoes I picked up, or boots. Where's the other one? Here we go. I picked these up based on that they felt like quality. Didn't really have time to do anything. Aren't they strange? Weird front. They're a kind of a high top, almost a hiking boot, but they're not really. Very odd. I just picked them up and thought they feel like quality. The leather feels good. They're a size 9, I think. So they are smaller, but this thing caught my attention. Oh, I see. It was that way. I think he's a little crocodile head or alligator head. Very odd. But they're leather. Oh, hang on. There is a brand here. Maori, Mauri, possibly. And it's got all the logo on the inside as well. I thought it's got to be something. Have they got raised heel in them? You know what I mean? Slightly, yeah. They are. They've got not exactly lifts in them, but they certainly make you a bit taller. But I guess if you're a fellow with size 9 feet, that's probably quite a good idea, I would imagine. You're not going to be super tall if you've only got size 9 feet. Yeah, I need to do some research into them. But they seem like a nice quality thing. Strange at the back there. They go right down the back and then up. But yeah, I mean, a bit blingy. Yeah, it's got the raised in some. Oh, has he? Is that part of it? This is very strange. It's got that, and then underneath it has that. Grafters. Not entirely sure what's going on here. If it's meant to be like that. Maybe it's, yeah. I've got to do some looking into that. I think someone's put insoles in them to give themselves a little bit of a lift. But I'll research those and see. IPR rubber, it says on the bottom. It just had a feel. And to be honest, they're not costing anything. So even if they're worth minimal amount, it's a gamble worth taking. I'll put these over here because then you won't be on top of all the clothes. They need a bit of a go over with my Dr. Martens Wonder Balsam as well, which I use for practically everything leather because I think it's just miracle stuff. And it lasts a very long time. Right, back to the clothes. When you're buying things in at a very low buying price, you can afford to take a little bit of a gamble. And so that is what I do. This wasn't a gamble at all. Sea salt. Now, I know sea salt that's variable. But this is very nice. Now, again, the colour doesn't show properly. This is really quite a deep teal. This is a ladies' jumper. It says it's an 8, but that's quite big for an 8. So it's meant to be boxy and a little oversized. With a tadette of free cat hair. Not my cat's. Someone else's. Now, let's see. What do we say? Carbis jumper. I do like it when they tell you what the style is. Bloody brilliant. A UK 8, 80% wool, 20% nylon from Sea Salt. So, I mean, they're a good quality brand. Not everything that they sell sells for lots of money, in spite of the fact it's deeply expensive to buy it new. But there are followers of this brand, so it should sell quickly. I mean, the thing is, how much more winter have we got to go? But I list everything all year round anyway, because it's cold somewhere in the world all the time. This was the gamble. There's a hoodie, right, with a kind of a rugby top, kind of mad design. Same on the back. I thought that's quite funky. Again in a kind of a blue, but a slightly greeny blue. Don't know the make. I think it could be vintage. Just guessing. It says it's a small Dame Faye, Copenhagen. So it's fleece lined. Things like little logos on the bottom kind of makes you think it's going to be a fairly decent quality brand. Mostly cotton with a little elastane in. Not made in China. So, and it's kind of high-low as well, which is weird. As a, I can't show you. What am I like? Honestly, camera technique professional? I don't think so. It's not quite as bright as it's coming up on the screen, but you can see it's got a short, higher front than back. I'm thinking this is probably a woman's. Yeah, judging from the sleeve length, I would say that's ladies' wear rather than men's. But just genuinely quite liked it. Like the style. What can I say? We like the style. Righty-ho. This I picked up, so I thought my husband might like it, but I don't know if he will. Banana Republic, which I'm not normally particularly bothered about, but again, it's a nice sort of quarter button, not a heavyweight top. So again, quite good for spring, perhaps. Man's, size large, definitely a man's, and probably long enough for my husband. Long arms, you see. So I'll see if he'd like that first, but I'll research it to make sure it's worth not a fortune. It does say it's their heritage collection. I don't know if that's a good thing or no. But again, that was really picked up because it might be a cosy thing from a fella to wear. You might not like it. He's quite entitled not to like it. But I'll pick things up on the off chance. Oh, now this is a wow. I felt it. Because feeling things is probably the best way to learn to spot quality. I thought, oh, oof, that smells lovely. I want to snuggle up in that right now. And I think this is a brand that's a bit like Oscar. It's one of these ochre, one size, and it is absolutely huge. It's an oversized jumper, because you can tell because the sleeves are very short. So it's meant to be oversized. But this is a lovely oatmeal colour, and it feels incredible. So, of course, I had to look at the label, because I'm like, what is this wonderful stuff? Yeah. This is where the money is. 100% yak wool. This garment is made with particularly soft and high-grade cashmere yarn. Hence some filling maker. So that's why that feels absolutely bloody amazing. It's not my colour. I mean, me in brown. Oof, no. But dear God, that has got to be worth an absolute arm and a leg. And there are no holes as far as I can see, which is obviously always the thing with something that's wool. I will go over it with a very fine tooth comb. But it feels amazing. I mean, I haven't researched that, but that's where the money is. That's the bingo gold kind of thought there. A little bit of bobbling, which I can deal with because I quite like a bit of debobbling. So that's kind of like the absolute score of the morning, that is. That's just fabulous. Other bits I picked up. The sack is going down a bit, but not by much. Right, these are an extremely bright red trouser. They're Marks and Spencer's. Now, the reason I picked these up is they are kind of like a cigarette cropped pant, great for holidays and things, and they're clearly brand new. They've never been worn. They have that unworn, unwashed sheen to them, and they happen to be a 14 long, which, as someone who was a 14 long, I'm more of a 12 long now, but you know, not always easy to find things in a more sensible length for the taller woman. So that's a bread and butter quick sale, yes please. Quickly followed by, and again I'm assuming from the same donor, again red. These are like a very, very fine needle cord. These were also Marks and Spencer's but these are 12. These are 12 regular, so maybe not the same donor. Funny how they got put next to each other though. And they're just a nice sort of fairly skinny corduroy trousers. So again, that sort of bread and buttery stuff. Then they look like they've been worn once, if that. There's no fading. In great condition. And I think that's good and bread and butter stuff again. People who like red, like red. I sell quite a lot of red stuff. I think it's that thing, it's like red and green and big colours that people love. And there aren't so many clothes in them. Right, back to a jumper. A different jumper, admittedly. This was hanging very sadly on the hanger, but it's another one of these oatmeal neutrals. This has a bit of a bobbling problem. This has quite a bit of a bobbling problem. Doesn't matter. Won't take me long to debobble. It has this quite unusual neckline, sort of a wide, not exactly a cow neck, but it was Paul Costello, which is, again, probably very expensive new and not so expensive secondhand. It's quite an oversized 12, more of a tunic length. And when I have a look at the fabric, because it feels quite nice. Okay, it has some wool and elastane content. It's more acrylic. But there's a lot of people that can't wear wool who want something that looks like it's wool. So that'll be a good bread and butter piece. And it felt quite nice. I do go by feel. I know everyone loves those vintage scratchy jumpers and mohair. And I wouldn't touch them, but I know what they feel like. Yes, one of the ladies in there came up to me and said, "Oh, will you like this? This is lovely." They were trying to get me to buy more, which is slightly embarrassing, but, helpful. And this is a Ted Baker dress. Didn't realise it was Ted Baker. Would have got it on style anyway. Just fabulous. It's got lots of seed beading around here, under the bust line. There's a nice big floral. Again, this is fabulous. For people who like black, it's a sort of gunmetal colour. No missing beads, no faults. Just a midi length dress, I would say that is, or knee length, depending on how tall you are. It's in silk. Nothing wrong with it. And at that price, because I know Ted Baker doesn't hold its value so well, but at that price, it's going to be all right. It's going to suit someone. Right, getting near the bottom. Oh, we are getting near the bottom here. I hope everyone's nice and busy this morning and the eBay gods are being kind. Another jumpery thing I have here. This is a hoodie. This is a kind of it's that kind of pink that's not really pink, that sort of blush pink or millennial pink, I think they call it. I picked this up partly because I thought, well, it's again a thinner knit, tunic style. I suppose it could be a dress. Yeah, that is long enough to be a dress length. Again, not me, not my colour. Okay, there's a little bit of work needs doing on a sleeve there. Just someone's dipped their sleeve in something. This side's all right. Actually, it's in the turn up anyway, isn't it? Oh, it's even got the thumb holes. I do like jumpers that have thumb holes. It's very cosy. So this was actually Cynthia Rowley. Again, very expensive new, probably not so active. I like that, active. So maybe that's something you pop over your yoga kit or what have you. Very nice. Let me see what it's made of. It's not going to tell me there. It's a size medium, so I'm assuming that's sort of around a 12 to 14. Oh, hubby's doing toast. Cotton and polyester. There we go. So that's washable. But again, I just thought style-wise, that's quite nice. And that's someone that quite enjoy that. It's got the sort of hoodie bit at the front there. And it's got its dongles, hasn't lost its ends. So, yeah, definitely something on the back of that sleeve. needs dealing with. I'll pop that to one side, take care of that. But like I say, if it truly won't come out, it's not the end of the world, because I haven't paid much. I haven't paid a fortune for it. Here we go. 2 more bits. Couldn't resist this. Snoopy. I love me Snoopy. I adored Snoopy when I was a kid. It's probably not worth very much. It is Levi's, and it's a large, which is a decent size. But that was more, I picked that more up for the fun of it. I'm not going to wear it, but I think if someone loves Snoopy as much as I did, then they'll enjoy that. And last on the list, this is an American brand, but I do sell it here, Eileen Fisher. This is again another summer lightweight sort of pop over. I think it's going to be linen, sort of boxy style jumper. Again, great for the upcoming seasons. It's in an unusual colour pink. Someone's thoughtfully taken the size out, but it is 100% linen. I'll say that's easily going to fit well, if you wear it oversized, which I guess maybe it is like a 14, 16, 18. I'll put the measurements on. Oh, it says M. Okay. It says M, so that's going to be it's going to be a 12, 14 kind of oversized fit. Ah, you've thought of a quick way to do this, Keith. Delete them all and donate it to charity. You could, but yeah. It's certainly a quick way of dealing with it, but not necessarily more profitable. But, you have to make the decision based on where you are. We're coming up towards the end of a tax year now, aren't we? So I know sometimes people like to write things off and cut costs and do things that make their books work for them, and that's absolutely as it should be. So yes, well, good luck with it anyway. I think I might. That's kind of inspired me a bit that I do need to go and skew my my jewellery, and I've got some very tiny labels somewhere, unless I got rid of them. But I could just literally put a number on and then match it up, because I've not got so much jewellery on. I sell it fairly steadily, but I've got a hell of a lot more to go on because it's my longer term game plan. So all the stockpiling is a deliberate stockpiling plan. Oh yeah, if it's been there for 3 years, oh yes, unless there's something absolutely splendid that you think hasn't gone because it's too good for the market. But yeah, I mean, if it's about 200 stuff, that would take you a long time, wouldn't it? And I'm sure your charity that you've been helping will be very grateful for it, and someone will snap it up. So it's all good karma, isn't it? You donate stuff back in, then more stuff comes your way. And you can get bored of things as well. I've got stuff in my store that's been there for a very long time. I cut the cost as much as I can, but there will come a point where I just go, oh, sweet little blue tit sitting on the telephone wire. It just was giving me the eyeball where. Yeah, exactly. It's a business. It's time, isn't it, as well? It's how much time is it worth spending on something that you think might not sell. So, yes. Actually, while I've got you on next, I'm very confused. Now, you know more about gold than anybody. This looks and feels like gold to me. I did a test and it came up as, under 14 karat, whatever, it completely dissolved, and then it came under. Then I did the 9 carat one and did the count, and it bubbled, and it remained a tiny bit, but mostly gone. So I have no way of knowing if this is gold filled. I have done the scratching test. I have done everything. There is no mark on it, but it has a tiny, tiny hang tag. Just the tiniest little hang tag that says JG in capital letters. Didn't know if you'd ever come across that before. I might take it to a jeweler and ask them. But if it isn't hallmarked, I may have to scrap it in anyway, I'm assuming. So I don't know. Yeah, job lot the brooches. Always a good idea. So yeah, because brooches are very popular, aren't they? So I'm absolutely loving this. I'm thinking, should I just wear it around my neck for a couple of weeks and see if I go green? Maybe that's the best way. But I have literally done lots of scratching. It scratches like gold. It feels like gold. But I will go to a jeweler and ask, because it's the best thing to do, isn't it, really? So it was worth an ask. So that's my haul. I have literally, how many items have I got? We usually do a count up, don't we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, right, 17 items for £10. So that's about 70p an item. I like that kind of pricing. Truly I do. Because I don't mind if it's not going to go for a huge amount, but some things, like my yak wool jumper, are going to go on very soon. That will be listed ASAP because winter. But I think there's always going to be a demand for it. But sometimes you just got to get things on. That'll probably be on an auction this weekend. So thank you so much for joining me. I'm delighted as always for the company. I will crack on and do some work, and I'm assuming you lot will do the same. I got my Witches In this evening with Becky on the Witches In channel. I will be doing with Lainey. We'll be having our Let's Talk About series. We'll do that next Tuesday at 2, and that'll be on my channel here. And yes, so much time on the YouTubes. Must be crazy. I did think I've got things that are gold plated, and this just feels a bit too good. It feels a bit too good. And it's not sort of bright. Well, it's not quite as bright as it's coming out more yellowy on here. The colour of it is more like a 9 carat, I would say, rather than a bright plating. But I will take it to someone and ask, because if it is, and if it isn't, it doesn't matter. It's a lovely thing anyway. So I will see you all, and take care. I will say goodbye. Here comes the awkward waving as I go. Ta-ta for now. Ta-ra.